Hello everybody, this is Toys R Us, and for this new figure review we're going to be looking at the Studio Series Gamer Edition Deluxe Class Bumblebee figure. So what we're going to do with this video, we're going to have a look at the entire contents of the packaging. We're going to have a detailed look at him in both of his modes to help you decide how you want to display him. We're going to see how he looks and displays with some of the other figures in the same toy line, as well as some of the other figures in other toy lines. Now, unfortunately, I do have the original version that this figure was based upon, which is the 2010 version there, but as you can see, it is sealed, so I'm not going to be opening that. However, what I do have is the next best thing, which is exactly what we're going to be getting in the next coming months. So this is, of course, Cliff Jumper, which is a red version of the Bumblebee mold, which they're going to be doing exactly the same with this guy in the coming months. So I can still do the relative comparisons for this video as well. So as I start to just pop all these back, I'd like to remind anybody who's not subscribed to this channel, if you'd like to hit that subscribe button for me now, please, because it really will help me out. And the other thing is to thank Robot Recruits, which is the online store which I purchased this from, and as you can see, they got him to me nice, quickly and safely. So before we look at the figure, we can look at the packaging, and there of course is the CGI image of him from the game, looking great. This is of course #1 from this series. So far we've got 3 released and 3, is it 3 or 2 on the way? I know Megatron and Cliff Jumper's on the way. I can't remember if there's another. We can see there we've got the alternate mode. There's again one of the best little alternate modes I think ever. I think it looks great, and the reason for that is because it does really look futuristic. So he's got an abundance of accessories. He's got 3 accessories on the side. Again, we've just got the gamer's image of him, and on that side as well. And then if we just very quickly open this up just to have a look at the backdrop, somebody left an amazing comment on one of the last videos, and it's a brilliant idea, and they said, why don't they just get all these backdrops and indeed get them all to line up so they all could make a huge scene and you could join them all together. I think that would be much better, to be honest. This one isn't too bad, to be honest. Looking at that, you can pop him on there, but the most interesting thing on it, he's going to be covered up straight away as soon as you stand him on there. So again, these backdrops for me are just a little bit of a letdown. I'm going to move this out of the way for now, and we're going to have a look at him. Now this figure itself overall he looks okay. He looks more rounded than I suppose any sort of Bumblebee figure sort of has. I'm just making sure everything's together the way it should be. This is the way he came out of the box. It's the way it looks like he should be on the back of the packaging, but as I've not seen any of the video reviews of this, no, that's how he should be. I've just seen images. These are 100% my first impressions. The head sculpt looks great. The eyes really stand out. There's lots of nice molding detail around the side of the face. You can see it's on a ball, so you've got basically like a mushroom pegs. You've got full rotation, articulation, looking up and down. Same as the shoulders are on ball and sockets. It's slightly hindered by this shoulder cover here, but it will go all the way out and it'll still go all the way around unhindered. You've got a swivel under the elbow, you've got a bicep flexion, and indeed I think this, by the looks of it, should be turned up and out of the way, should it? I'm not too sure. Maybe like that. Yes, that's how it should be. So there you go. It doesn't come transformed properly in the box. That's how it should be with the handout. I've gone the wrong way around there. No, it isn't. That must be for later on. See, told you. Just getting used to all these. It was right. There is obviously their articulation. You can see at the elbows. The waist does swivel, but it does get hindered by the legs. Now the legs, funnily enough, are really interesting because there's a lot of range of motion in the way that they kick, and there's a big knee bend, but there's no ankle tilt really or rock. There's his toes. However, if you do something like this, and I keep looking at this just to make sure that I've got it the right way round, because all you've got to do is grab it there, spin the leg around. Oh no, the knee's going to bend backwards. The knee's going to bend backwards, but with that you've got an ankle tilt and rock, so you can't do it. I thought you could, but no, the knee will be on the wrong side. So unfortunately, yeah, it's strange. He doesn't have an ankle tilt or rock if you want a knee bend. I wonder if you could sort of combine the two, maybe I don't know, maybe, who knows. But either way, it depends on how you want to pose him. If you want to pose him with an ankle tilt or rock, you've got to turn them around at there under the thigh. If you want to pose him with the normal knee bend, then you've got to have him the way he looks, that's backwards, the way he should be in all the stock photos. Now, the accessories that come with him are these. You've got a sword, you've got a blaster, and indeed you've got another blaster. This one I think is more for the alternate mode. Yes, it is. Now you can store these on the back in these spaces here, like so. These will fit. You can see there. Is that one going to fit? That's the one I think that you fit on his arm. Or let's have a look. Maybe you can do both, because again, if you've seen my other videos, the right arm does detach on these gamer editions, and you can pop accessories on like so, and that is of course to mimic and emulate how it looked and what you could do in the game. Now the other cool thing is though, you can use any weapon that you want. So this is Optimus Prime's with some of his staff on. I've just gone and said that, and this won't work because he's too oh no, well, I thought because he's too small. There you go, look at that. That looks way better. That's a great way you can pose him with that. This is a pretty cool gimmick, to be honest. Does this clip in the back as well? I don't know. I don't know if you can clip that anywhere, but of course there's no reason for you to not have his sword either, which you can see. You can take the sword, and it's 5mm, so any of the other accessories from any of the other toy lines, you can pop that in like so. I'm going to just carry on with the rest of the video rather than break it up here. Now I'm going to bring in the other ones from the same series. There you go. You can see he's huge, but again, he's at a different price point. Barricade is also huge though, but these are both at the same price point, which is a little bit strange, shall we say. I think what they've done obviously is by giving us 3 accessories with Bumblebee. Oops, that's what's made up the price point. These are the 3 that we've got so far, and they're all good in their own way. I really liked this one because it's original. This one's cool because now I've just realized you can have so much fun with all the accessories. And this one's cool because he's just big and chunky. And thank you to, again, another comment from another subscriber, Optimus Schwarzenegger, because he's so stacked. Again, not my quote. Thanks to Duke Nukem for that. I think, to be fair, guys, as I say, I'm going to just do the vehicle mode separately in a bit. So what I want to do is bring in, this is Cliff Jumper. So this is of course using the original 2010 mold. So there's 13 years difference between these two molds. The first thing you'll notice straight away is the height difference. This is a much bigger deluxe figure. It's huge. Now, if I'm being honest, I really didn't like these. I found this one to be overly fiddly for what it was, and just again really spindly legs. I did like these flip out blades. I thought that was a great idea. I did like the use of the translucent plastic, but overall wasn't too much of a fan. And when you got loose joints on this, which you can see, it made the whole, it just didn't feel good with the loose joints. It just, yeah, it made it really flimsy obviously, and didn't display that well. However, you can see where they've managed to improve on the back kibble. It's much less. But indeed, they've gone and lost the ankle tilt and rock that was on the originals. So it's a bit of catch-22. There's pros and cons to each of them. I think, however, that I suppose what's more important in this day and age is how they scale, and he scales really well. Whereas if I had the other Optimus Prime, I'm just putting back on the shelf typically. But to give you an idea of how big he is, there's a Voyager class mainline Optimus Prime. That is a huge Cliff Jumper there. You know, Cliff Jumper shouldn't be that big, and that's how big the B was as well. With regards to some other mainline figures, if I bring in fact, we don't need him anymore, we're done with him. Just to give you an idea of, I suppose, how well he scales, there he is with a core class figure. There he is with a deluxe, and indeed with some more deluxe figures to give you an idea of where he fits in at that particular price point. Right, I think that's it. I'm pretty much definitely done with looking at him in robot mode and reviewing him in robot mode. We are going to come back, and he's going to be in his alternate mode. We can see how he looks and fares like that. Okay then, back for the final time with him already in his alternate mode. Quick apologies for no transformation process on this video. That is because I need to keep the main length of this video down, and I'm going to be uploading it separately as a tutorial, so anybody who wants to see it can, and indeed hopefully it will help people in future reference. Now once again, this is quite a nice little alternate mode. You can see how it's all fits together really quite well, to be honest. There's not too many parts that stand out, or you know, it fits together. It is quite an awkward transformation process, but it does fit together pretty well. It is very small though. It's again, it's great. Look at it, you can tell it's a Cybertronian alternate mode. With regards to other Studio Series figures, there's Jolt. It's much smaller than that. And again, just because he's at hand, I've got the deluxe legacy animated Prowl as well. Overall, it is a nice, small and compact little vehicle. Now you've got a storage part under there if you want, so what you could do is take this particular blaster and then you can pop the tab in there and store that. And then if you have a look at there on the instructions as well, you can make out that they've got the sword in one of these holes at the back, pretty much like that, to be honest, either way around. And then this is what's going on the roof. Now the way that it's got it on the picture is to do it like that, which to be honest doesn't look too bad. Let's get rid of that glare, and let's bring in the backdrop again very quickly just to see how he looks on that. That again doesn't look too bad, but they just don't fit. He's just a little bit too wide. But what I think, and I'm hoping it's going to work, let's have a look. I'd like to play around with this. You can't really add anything to that, whereas if you spin it around, let's have a look at this. Let's pop this there. The blaster's underneath. Let's go for something daft. Let's go with this. Let's see if this works. So if Optimus hasn't got him on the roof, then Bumblebee can put it. It works. Bumblebee can put it on the roof as well. That'll fit. I suppose anything with 5mm port on the end of that. That's obviously a bit big. It's weighing it down, but it still fits. It'll still go in there. So yeah, Bot Bender's going to have a whale of time with this. We could also attach this as well. Again, have this as a bit of a cannon. That's all again from Optimus Primes. That looks pretty cool, to be fair. And you can just, you know, go absolutely nuts if you wanted to. Attach that as well. There you go. It's like he's jousting. But yeah, pretty cool. Let's be honest, have a look at this. Everything fits together snugly. You can see the wheels all go around independently on their own pins. Everything's tucked away pretty neatly inside, to be honest. Nice detail on the back of the headlights. And I suppose if we're being overly picky, they could have had these joints painted black. Then it wouldn't, they don't stand out too much, but if they'd have painted or used black plastic for that, it wouldn't have stood out as much. Overall though, and I'm sure you can probably tell, I think I'm quite impressed with this guy. He does seem to be a bit of an updated, well, a much better upgraded and obviously updated version to the one that we had 13 years ago. I think I prefer it, to be honest, especially in this particular mode. But there you go. I hope you have done this guy some justice, showed you enough about him, and as I say, he's not a bad little addition to this new completely new toy line. So let me know what you think in the comments, guys. Take care.